first podcast. Welcome to Movie Nights Podcast with
Dion.
and Micah.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Exciting times.
Thanks to our loyal fans for joining for the first episode.
Thanks for I think we've got one subscriber so far, so shout out to you. I think it might be my other channel, but you know what? We move.
I think there'll be more than one. Maybe. We've got a few
We
accounts.
Get you to sub as well.
So what is our first movie that we are covering?
Holy smokes, we're covering Wicked 1.
Wicked 1.
Good timing.
Yes, perfect timing for the second movie, which has just come out.
That's right.
We desperately need to see this week. So it's been about a year since the first came out. So just a little background. So of course, starring Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, and directed by John Chu.
Holy smokes, that's a big boy cast.
Loaded
guys.
cast. John Chu, who also directed what other major movie?
It's gonna be Chicago.
No, Crazy Rich Asians.
I would not have guessed that.
Chicago was like 20 years ago, I think. So
Directors don't stick around for time.
anyway, another good movie worth seeing. But in any case, how would you describe the plot of Wicked to someone who has never exposed themselves to this world before?
Look, let's be real. 2 hours, 40-minute runtime. Whew, it's a big boy. It picks up, halfway through. So the first half is, a bit of the backstory, a bit of the lore in some of the characters. I have no idea what's going on, but we've just finished watching it. I still kind of have no idea, let's be real. It's about a pink lady and a grey lady. And there's some beef and they become friends, and then there's trials and tribulations and betrayals and wizardry from one person.
I mean,
Witchery.
at this point, what you're describing sounds like a merger of like Shrek and Harry Potter.
Ooh, that's you know what? That sums it up pretty well.
Okay.
Elphaba X Shrek crossover.
Okay. Let's pretend that's what happened.
Okay.
But we're coming to this movie from different perspectives because so overall impressions of the movie. Oh, this is our second watch through as well, I should say. So this was a good refresher for us.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It's different to my usual watch, but I've been enjoying it. That's over to you, Micah.
Well, I was gonna say because musical movies are a select genre, which is not always widely enjoyed, but where would you say this sits with other musical movies that you've seen?
It's up there. Like, it's not overdone the musicaliness, which is nice. So, it's a fairly easy watch. Even if you don't enjoy musicals per se, you could still enjoy this movie, which is nice. It's catering to all. It's no Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny, but a second place maybe was Willy Wonka a musical.
Yeah,
That was also pretty good. So
that was good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's top three.
How many other musical movies have you seen?
Burlesque, Chicago.
Oh, yeah, okay.
What's that one with Hugh Jackman in it? Greatest
Showman.
Showman, but then the other one, the French one.
Oh, Les Mis.
Les Mis, seen that as well.
Some musical fans will be very offended that you have not rated Les Mis higher.
I honestly couldn't tell you, sweet FA, what goes on in that movie. So I've seen a few. So no, it's good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Wicked.
Nice. How do you think you would go now watching it if you were to see it like live on stage? Just
I
the
would
musical.
get more out of it and enjoy it more, I'll be honest.
Oh, really? Out of
Yeah,
the
of course.
live? Why?
Well, I don't know. I feel like I've got additional context now. So,
Okay. Fair
whereas, when you're watching something live, they're hamstrung by the production of doing something live. Whereas watching the movie, they can obviously do whatever they want. So watching that first and then going to see it live, I can fill in the gaps where a live play can't really do that. So I'd be having to, put some pieces together myself in the play and miss probably the whole thing.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. I was really quite blown away watching this for the first time because I think I went in with very low expectations as someone who enjoyed the musical, because I was very concerned about it being adapted to a live action, or a movie version. I guess because in recent years there's been so many adaptations that have been flops, and I was very concerned that this wasn't going to work out. But I was quite gobsmacked, and it was very clear in the first 20 minutes of the movie that they were going to be faithful to the original musical, but also add their own elements which actually enriched the story. And so overall, I would say it was very clear that everyone involved in the film were true fans of the movie, and they weren't just, or of the musical. They weren't just making the movie because...
For a cash grab.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fair.
So, likes and dislikes about the movie.
Animal cruelty, not a fan. So, just get that out there. I was confused for the second time watching this, the start of the movie, how it kind of starts at the end, I guess. I have no idea what happens in part 2 in this movie or just the franchise in general. So, I don't know what to expect, but yeah, I was like, am I coming into the movie halfway? Have I got the right thing loaded? So I felt like it was just a weird start. But anyway, it clarified itself pretty quickly, so that was good.
Well, interestingly, the movie actually starts in the same way as the musical. You might think that would be an odd choice, but they do that in the musical as well. They start at the end, and then they cut back in time. So... The thing that's quite interesting about watching the movie is obviously you have so many close-ups and, different shots and things that you can do that you can see more than you would see in the musical. And so if you're really paying attention in that first scene, you can pick up on a lot.
Okay, give me some examples.
Well, I don't want to give any spoilers to you as someone who hasn't seen the second part. Okay. So I'm interested to know, what did you observe? What are you predicting for the second movie?
The second movie is going to be everyone v Elphaba. And then it's going to be Glenda being like, yo, mother effer, why did you try and beef me? Why didn't you take me with you to the promised lands? And Elphaba's like, hey, bro, your wizard lies. I've seen that clip for the trailer for the second one, so I know that's dies, or she fake kills herself to go into hiding, and Glenda's like, yeah, I'll just pretend I killed you, bro, and maybe that's what happens. But then bit of a sad life for Elphaba if she has to then live in hiding for the rest of the time. So I have no idea.
Okay.
Don't tell me if I'm close or not, to be fair.
I will not tell you.
Okay.
But the commenters will be commenting on your predictions.
Oh boy.
So maybe we should not read them until after Wicked Part 2.
Okay, we're going to have to go watch it quick smart.
But in any case, what did you make of Glinda in the first scene,
She has no powers. She fake.
I mean, she does arrive in a bubble, so...
Yeah, but, the Wizard of Oz had this big floating head thing. It's made to look like magic.
But that was not an illusion. That was real magic. Are you saying if I arrived, if I came home in a bubble, if I flew home, you would not be impressed by that?
I'd be like, yo, that's pretty cool.
But it's not magic.
Yeah, it's not magic.
Okay.
I've seen Now You See Me 3. That's real magic right there.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, but genuinely, any particular highlights from the first movie?
Highlights. Highlights.
Oh gosh, you must have a long list of lowlights then.
No, it was just good. Highlights. Not a fan of the governor. He stinks. The sister, a bit of a crybaby.
Nessa Rose.
Yeah.
Why is she a crybaby?
Oh, just like, oh, you know, hate my sister. She's the worst. So
No, she never said
no,
she hates.
I guess the Elphaba wants to help, and Nessaro's just been a bit of a baby about it. So not a fan. Goat Professor Donnie, he's a real OG. I respect it. All the animals, to be fair, they're real.
Dr. Dillerman.
Dr. Dillman.
We're gonna get roasted.
Hey, I'm just trying to put it all together. Prince Charming, he came
Fiyero?
good. Fiyero,
Yep.
yep, Pontiac. Who else was good? I mean, Elphaba, pretty sick. Glinda, yeah, she's alright, I guess. What was Buck? Bick? What's the redhead?
Bok.
Bok. Yeah, not the one. He needs to go. So, you know what? The likes, it was just a well put together movie. I enjoyed it. What were your likes and dislikes? You've been asking me a bunch of questions. I'm going to throw it back on you.
All right.
Okay. There's a diligent note taker over here, so here we go.
The likes. Okay. Firstly, and this is predominantly in the first part of the movie, the practical effects and the real set is quite impressive.
Okay.
So
because they're real flowers, guys.
They're real flowers. They planted, like, I can't even remember, some astronomical number, like tens and thousands of flowers. And they kept saying to John Chu, we don't have the money to plant more flowers. And he was like, I don't care. You've got to make it real. And I respect that.
That is pretty cool.
And also, the Shiz University at the beginning, when Ariana's coming in, Glinda's coming in on the canals with like the boat. It's, you know, quite amazing. They built that set. That is real set.
Where did they build it?
I don't know, but you can see videos. I've seen videos of them making this set, which is quite impressive. That it's all real. He wanted Munchkin Land and Shiz to be all real. Like,
which one was Munchkin Land?
At the beginning, when Glinda comes on the bubble, that's
where
Munchkin Land.
Bok's from.
Correct.
Yeah. Sus. They seem like they just, it's a bit of a, you know, follow the leader kind of vibe. You know, they can't think for themselves. They have to be told what they want to think. Bit cringe.
Well, this is a big theme of the movie, is about government control. This is there's a deeper underlying meaning there.
Yes.
There's layers. It's like an onion, you know?
A Shrek reference again, jeez. Okay.
Other likes. Okay. It was quite true to the original musical, like I said, but with some additional elements that helped to kind of elevate the story, I think. The costumes were kind of amazing.
They were.
The world building, like there was a lot of attention to detail. Like
the train to Emerald City, that was pretty cool.
That was
pretty
a real
nifty.
train as well. They built that train. That's very cool.
And that guy's mustache on it, elite.
I think, like, there were a few scenes where there was really amazing, like, one-shot kind of takes where they're, like, following characters.
Is that in the library? That felt like a one-shot take.
Dancing Through Life.
Yeah,
there was quite a lot of crafty camera work in that, like, rotating kind of library.
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
I've seen some very risky behind the scenes clips of like some of the dancers who were like working their way through that, and then like one of the shots, which if you blink you miss it, but he like fully does like an aerial and then like rolls out of the thing and the camera is like following him. And he was like, I've only got like one more take left, otherwise I'm gonna like neck myself. So
okay, well, we don't want that.
It was very impressive.
There you go.
Yeah, I think also the way that they were able to integrate sound in the movie that actually made the rhythm of the music. So, for example, in Dancing Through Life, there's a lot of like the book shutting and opening and like stamping and stuff.
To create the beat.
That creates the rhythm, which is quite cool because you would not get that in like a musical version.
You could, it would just be tricky.
It would be very tricky.
Yeah.
So, I thought that was clever, the way that they have still been true to the original music but enhanced it, and the production like of the music was great, I thought.
The score.
Yeah.
Right. Very good.
Dislikes.
Okay, here we go.
How long is your list?
I like to go in with an open mind. Look, Did I say anything during the movie? I'm struggling to think of a dislike.
You were commenting that it was like an hour and 40 in, and you were like,
yeah, fair.
now it's getting good.
True.
Like, when was that moment?
That was when the police people came in to capture Dr. Dillman.
Dillerman.
Yeah, and they got the poppies flying everywhere with the opioids going around. So that was kind of the start of the movie for me. So the hour and 40 minutes before that was basically just lore building, which you need. Hour and 40 minutes. Woo, it was tough. But yeah, the last hour there was lots of stuff going on, which was good. So, and you know, maybe that hour and 40 minutes made the last hour better for me, which is probably true, but yeah, it probably could have been, I don't know, half an hour short of that first hour and 40.
But what would you cut out of the first part?
What would I cut out? There's too much. Yeah, I can't even remember what happened, bro. What happened in the first part? They were like chatting, just introducing to Shiz. They should already have just been students. There's no need for them to be new students. Just they're already students there. Make Elphaba like she's just new, but everybody else has been there because everyone's like, oh my gosh, never been to Shiz before. Whereas if they're just like, yo, Elphaba's here for the first time, yo, get off our turf.
Well, interestingly, in the musical version, Elphaba is actually a student in her own right, and she is enrolled from the beginning. Whereas in the movie, they made it seem like she was just
an ad
there,
hoc decision.
yeah, as like a caregiver for Nessa Rose, and then
Princess McGonagall, Professor McGonagall, was like, "Yo, I see you." Now, that's a question I've got. I don't know if we're going to get into this, but that's a question I've got.
Because I'm so glad you mentioned McGonagall.
So, Madame Moriarty... Morrible.
Yeah.
I have a question about her.
Yeah.
Does she have actually any powers? Because the evidence suggests that she may, but does she just stink too much that she can't operate the Grimoire?
Yeah, I think she's not a person or a sorceress that can manipulate the Grimoire, but she does have some powers. Like, she manipulated the weather, so yeah.
So she has some powers, but she still stinks. But the Wizard of Oz has no powers.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
He's a fraud.
He's a fraud.
Yeah.
Fraudster. Jeff Goldblum, though. Love him.
Yeah. Did you love him in this?
I think he did a good job. He needed to be a bit weaselly, and I think he portrayed that pretty well.
Cool. Fair.
Did you think he did a good job? That makes me think you think he didn't.
Yeah, I think so. I think I didn't find him as compelling as I have in other roles. But that's a pretty high bar to clear because Jeff Goldblum is kind of elite.
Who, when you think of the Wizard of Oz, who are you picturing in that role?
Do you know what? I was thinking that the whole time we were watching it the second time. I was thinking, who else could possibly do it? And I can't think of anyone who could have done it better. So maybe I just need to eat my words.
Someone who's a bit cringe and a bit wussy. Who would do a good job of playing that?
Who's the guy who plays Barney's dad in How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah, but have you seen him in Dexter? Bro, man's a menace. The Trinity Killer? Nah, that's messed up.
Yeah, but he's so...
John something.
Yeah. Shout out to him because he's done some diverse roles.
Yeah, that, I'm sorry, John Lithgow.
Is it? Yeah, it might be.
That sounds like the right name. But if you know who we're talking about, Barney's dad, How I Met Your Mother, but then contrast that role with in Dexter as the Trinity Killer, bruh, that stuff scarred me. I don't think I finished watching season 5 because of that. So, yeah, shout out John Lithgow if that's who we're thinking of. Anyway, apparently he would make a good Wizard of Oz, but no, I think Jeff Goldblum because he played a similar role in Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, I've forgotten that. I'll have to go back.
Bruh.
I know.
Anyway, it was almost an identical role, if I'm honest.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
So that's probably why they selected him. He didn't even have to do anything. He just turned up, said, yo, do this character again, but for Wicked. And he's like, yeah, no dramas.
So I don't know if this is true, but I read the other day that apparently Jeff Goldblum has gone vegan since making this movie because it's like
Of the
obviously
animal
got
cruelty.
animal cruelty
That's fair.
theme,
That's
which
fair.
is quite amazing. My dislikes, I was gonna say, I'm sorry to say it because the actress who plays this
Holy
person
smokes.
is amazing. However, I'm gonna say Madame Morrible.
Okay.
The reason being that in the musical, at least the original Broadway cast and what I have seen of clips of various versions online, I may be wrong, maybe there's various interpretations here, she's a bit more flamboyant and disordered. Whereas in the movie version, she's quite composed and controlled. And she's like, you know, a woman in power. Rather
see.
than being a little, who am I thinking of from Harry Potter? Umbridge.
Okay.
You know, like, I'm kind of picturing
You
someone
want a bit of chaos.
a little bit more chaos.
I see.
I don't know. Maybe, like, obviously they were going for something a bit different. And obviously, it's challenging coming into this type of movie as an actress who is not a musically trained singer.
Shots fired.
I'm just saying.
Okay. Fair enough. Did you know her acting stuff outside of Wicked at the time?
Like, minimally.
Okay. So
I
she might
think-
be a trained singer. But she's definitely not.
Well, I don't think she's been in musicals that I'm aware
I
of.
see. Okay, well, fair enough.
Wait, now I need to look this up. Can we look this up? Like,
Yes,
you just said all
post.
this
No,
for-
post.
Oh, okay.
Post.
All right. I'll
It's-
educate myself. I may eat my words.
That's okay. We got another clip.
My other dislike from this movie, which was not avoidable, I think, but the CGI animals, it just always takes me out of it. And like, I mean, had they used real goats, that would have been worse. But
Yes, that would have been worse. I thought the animals were it. Yeah, now that you're pointing it out, I get it. But like, we're already in make believe land, so I felt like it didn't feel super out of place.
yeah, fair enough.
But I get where you're coming from.
I think a common criticism that I have heard from other people about this movie is the flying scene at the end. I think a lot of people were not a fan of the whole Elphaba falling and seeing her younger self in the reflection and then flying around for an extended amount of time.
Sure. I mean, she's never flown before, so she don't really know what she's doing. So,
That's fair.
So
That's
you
fair.
know, like
That's very
I-
practical response.
yeah, Iron Man. You know, when he was learning to fly, he
Oh,
was
yeah.
falling over all the time. So, look, it would have been weird for her to just bang it straight out the gate. So, falling, that's fine. Look, she was trying to grab the broomstick and it fumbled it, so there was going to be, can she telekinesis things to her? She's still like new in her power, so I wasn't expecting that either. So having a little flashback moment, it's like, yo, I'm a kid, let me reach out to you because, you know, so precious and whatnot. And then that's what, boom, you get the broomstick from that. I was okay with that. That made sense. And then the flying around stuff at the end, bruh. That was like the best part of the whole movie. So
Okay, I'm surprised you said that.
yeah, it was like, yo, I can't remember what song she was singing, but it was like, it was Beyonce-esque.
Defying gravity?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Only because it's coming up in my TikToks like non-stop with all the confetti and stuff. And it just, you know, when I was going to do a rendition, but I'll save that for maybe part 2. You know, it just felt powerful. I was like, yeah, damn, Elphaba means
Ah,
business.
that's
You
very
don't want her
nice.
smoke.
Fair.
So, and I think that was the ruby slippers. That's just completely off the cuff, but I think we've already mentioned that. But anyway, it just reminded me of ruby slippers. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, I think there were probably 2 things about the defying gravity bit. One is obviously in the musical, it's just kind of one song. Like there's none of this. It's kind of topped up in multiple different parts in the movie, which does kind of draw it out a little bit. maybe it was necessary. You know, we kind of needed to see her getting the broom, and then this little moment with Glinda, and then, you know, she's flying around, she's figuring it out. I think that when we get to the end and she's doing her, you know, they say the note, like the final note.
Yeah.
I think we could have ended it there. I don't think we needed the extra bit with
What
her
was the extra
going
bit?
into the sunset.
Oh, yeah, fair.
There's
that's fair.
them going out onto the balcony and they're like, she's wicked.
Yeah.
Like,
that's-
I think, you know.
You know what? That's true. But look, that's only 30 seconds. If you want to take some time out of the movie, it's in the first half.
Yeah, I think it just, that clip of her kind of flying up with the broomstick is like kind of nostalgia for the musical, because that's basically how the first act ends in
I
the
see,
musical.
I see.
Is she like is lifted up and then that's the end of the first act. That would have been a great place to
Okay,
stop,
well,
I think.
anyway. Missed opportunities.
Yeah. Also, sorry, critical thing I wanted to say is that I saw so many clips of Cynthia Erivo in like this huge
That's alphabet
shed.
for you folks at home.
This huge shed with like the most amazing apparatus with her like on this broomstick, where they were getting her to do like revolutions on the broomstick and like full flying around this workshop whilst singing, and she had to train herself to sing with a corset on, with like a harness on, and they had to figure out how to manage all the sound issues because she had like the microphone with the cape and like she's flying and all this stuff.
And
However,
none of that's in the movie.
I don't know that any of that's in the movie.
Look, they needed to train her, evidently, for part 2. They probably didn't even stop filming. They probably just continued filming.
Yeah, I think they did.
So,
But
it's, you know what? It's probably in part 2.
I hope it is, because if everyone went through all that work and it's not in the movie,
Look,
I'll be very
look,
sad,
look,
because
look,
it was
Look. They're getting a bag. If the worst they have to do is, you know, deal with some apparatus and mic swinging and, you know, and they get paid, I don't know, probably 20 mil each, easily. Damn, that's a good day in the office.
yeah.
Meanwhile, we're sitting here slaving away for pennies on the dollar.
And I just think
Help
to
us
do that,
make it in this podcasting world so we can
imagine
subsidise our cost of living crisis.
imagine doing that and then getting like to the premiere and then seeing that the whole thing was CG. Like, imagine you spent like weeks training for that
It
scene.
happens.
You would be like, why did I bother?
Look, they're getting paid, so
Yep.
can't be too mad about it.
Yeah.
As long as the CG looks tasteful, you know. If they replace it with CG and it looks worse, well, then that's just silly. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Any favorite scenes? Any standout scenes from the
Favorite
movie?
scenes. Favorite scene. A favorite scene. Just anywhere Elphaba was cooking.
Okay. So like most of them, really.
Favorite scene.
Okay.
You say your favorite scene. and
I'll come back. I'll come back.
Tell me your favorite scene.
I think one of my favorite scenes is The Wizard and I, which is
You're gonna have to do some explaining, lady.
the song she sings when Madame Morrible first comes to her and like says, "You have a talent," and then she kind of starts singing and she's going through the kind of like the pond, like the rocks across the pond,
yep,
and
yep,
then
yep. You see
there's
the-
a colourful mosaic mobile thing, and she kind of sees like a little prophecy of her future,
yes.
you know.
R.I.P.
Because, well, there's a couple of reasons why I like that scene. One, that whole scenery, like that set, is so beautiful. It's like, that would be like the inside of my brain. Like, that's kind of dreamland, you know? And she has such a beautiful voice, but I kind of noticed this in the movie when I watched it the first time, but hearing Cynthia describe it, I think really made it obvious that she was starting off with her singing being like very soft and whatever, and she's like, as Elphaba's character grows, like her voice
Gets
is
more powerful.
more powerful, and
Makes sense.
yeah, so it's,
Typical character development.
I just thought,
It's a nice little extra little detail in
a
there.
nice detail. And then when she runs out kind of across the field to the cliff's edge and she's like really finding her voice, she runs out to the edge.
Oh, yeah.
That really reminds me of a part in Beauty and the Beast, which is like a song I really love in that.
What is that song?
I didn't even know what it's called, but the people will know the song that I'm talking about. It's about, like, it kind of has a similar feeling about, like, finding freedom and, like, finding yourself. And
it's like when Odin stood on the cliff's edge in Thor Ragnarok.
I don't know if it is like that.
And then Hela comes in. Anyway, we're digressing.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite scenes. And I when I watched the movie the first time, I was like trying to not cry during that. And then it got to what is this feeling? And then I started crying, which
one is what is this feeling? Give me the TLDR.
Loathing. When they're in the beds and then they're like writing to their family about like, I don't like this girl, why am I with this girl who's
crying
blonde?
at that.
Well, because I was saving up the tears from the whole period beforehand.
Okay.
And then also because I think the sound production on What Is This Feeling was so good. Like, that song's good in the musical, and then in the movie, it's kind of intergalactic.
So we've heard a bit about the good. Now tell me, what scene or scenes didn't you vibe with?
Well, I already mentioned my, like, kind of pros and cons with the flying bit, but also, I don't know what the exact song is called, but it's when the goats are in, like, Dr. Dilliman's house and he's singing about something bad is happening in Oz, and they have the little, like...
Yeah, the little silhouette things.
Silhouettes. I'm like, I don't need to be hearing a song in Goat. It's necessary for the plot. It absolutely is necessary, but I'm not gripped.
Do you know what didn't grip me? It's this weird...
Oh, really?
Look,
the Ozdust ballroom dance.
It was just a bit weird. Like, I get that they were all laughing at her for her outfit. Like, I mean, I think I'm pulling this off personally, but, she could have just done a non-weird dance, and I think it would have achieved the same effect if no one's dancing with her while she would have looked more like an idiot if she was doing a good dance, but everyone's still laughing at her. So I don't think it was necessary for it to be this weird ass dance that then everyone copies. It just felt out of place. Like, it made her feel a bit weak, which I don't think was the intention.
So what would you have done instead?
Oh, bruh, she could have been doing anything. She could have been doing capoeira for all I care. So, but it would have achieved the same thing. Everyone would have been like, yo, this chick, she's so weird. And then she could have just stood there in the middle, just doing nothing, and then Glenda goes up to her and starts doing capoeira as well. That would have been...
In a scene about friendship and bonding that starts off in a place of softness and vulnerability, I just don't see capoeira working. The dance moves, like the waving on the forehead, like that's kind of iconic from the musical. Like, fair people enough. Know that. Okay. Anyway, a little trivia. Well, factoids that I wanted to share, which I thought was quite nice.
Okay.
Nessa Rose.
Yes.
This is the first
Wheelchair
time.
person.
This is the first time that role has been played by someone who is actually disabled.
Whoa,
So,
progressive.
Shout out.
2024. We're here for it.
Overall score, shall we say out of 10 for Wicked Part 1?
Can you break it down into subcategories for me? I feel that would help me.
Yeah, but this is going to be like the Top Gear movie ranking, so we do need an overall answer.
Look, I will, as me as a person, and I am one, contrary to popular belief, I'm going to give it a 7.37 out of 10.
Are we going in 0.25 decimal places? Is that what we're doing?
No, you said Top Gear. Top Gear do what they want.
Oh, okay. All right.
So 7.37.
Okay. I'm gonna say. Now you make me want to revise my answer. I'm gonna say.
No. The people want you to be truthful.
8.25.
Look, let's be real. Your answer's above that. What did you have initially thought?
I had written 8.5. Do you know what?
Okay, see?
I had started off the second rewatch thinking I was going to put a 9. And then I realized that we have got some banger movies that are like,
Yeah,
they absolutely will gag you. And they deserve the 10 out of 10.
Yeah, fair.
So I have to give us some space for those movies that are coming.
Look, you had 8.5 written down initially. Give it an 8.5.
Okay, you're making me
Look,
stick to my original.
Yeah, because my 7.37 will drag down the DNM average,
Oh,
which is
true.
that's what the fans
That's
really
what
want
really
to see.
counts.
The DNM average.
Yeah, okay.
So I can't do quick math, but it's under an 8. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. It's like a 7.8, 7.9 in that range. And
But
look, that's a good effort.
It is. I feel like
For a musical, come on.
it's useful having your perspective because I can't watch it as someone who already knows the musical. Like, I can't watch it as just a movie because everything I am watching is comparing it to the musical.
Fair.
Yeah. Any advice on when people should watch this movie, or is it similar to any other movies, do you think?
When to watch it? What are you asking? What time of day? What time of the week?
Yeah.
It's you can just watch it whenever. It's you don't need to have it be dark and moody outside or sunny because you're a bit scared. You can just watch it whenever. But look, if you're going to go see Wicked 2, you're going to need to see this one because otherwise, I'm assuming you're going to have no. To be fair, maybe Wicked 2 is basically just going to be like The Wizard of Oz because I feel like I never knew that the Wicked Witch was good. I thought she was always bad. So that was something I learnt from this movie, that she was good to start off with. I thought she was always just wicked. So maybe Wicked 2 is basically just The Wizard of Oz. So maybe you don't need to watch Wicked.
You need to watch the first one. But this is a big part of the movie is, humanizing the characters. And for both Glinda and Elphaba, showing the good and bad sides of both of them,
Fair. When do you think is a good time to watch Wicked? Give me an ideal setting.
When you need a little pick-me-up. But, especially, I think if you've been a little bit knocked down, and you need to be empowered, this is a good time to watch this movie, I think.
Yes. What's a good feel-good vengeance movie? That's what we need.
You're going to say, John Wick or something?
Yeah, but that's kind of depressing. But yeah, kind of that vibe. I always go Count of Monte Cristo for a good vengeance movie. That's a feel-good vengeance movie. But yeah, fair enough. For the ladies, maybe Wicked.
I was gonna say also Hamilton. Probably.
I have seen Hamilton as well. That's one I didn't say.
Select songs. So Room Where It Happens. The whole. Yeah, it's a good soundtrack for, when you need a little motivation.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Shall we talk about what we're doing for the next movie?
What are we doing for the next movie?
Well, we're doing Wicked 2, but should we say what we're doing after that?
Oh, for the next podcast?
Yeah.
It's TBD. I've got some ideas. Look, I don't want to say too soon just in case we don't actually end up watching this movie.
Fair. Okay. All right, well, keep an eye out on the socials then. So you can find us on Instagram at Movie Nights Podcast.
Can't believe we got that name.
I know. Or on YouTube at Movie Nights Podcast with DM.
Okay. Dion, Micah. Boom.
That's the one. Any final comments before we finish?
I'll leave that up to you as the host.
Looking forward to part 2. A bit anxious because notoriously Act 2 of the musical is not as strong as the first part. So I'm interested to see how they ham it up a little bit. But I have faith in John Chu. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Exciting times. First podcast.
Don't know how to finish a podcast.
Look, guys, if you're new here, if you haven't seen one of our videos before, and you're still here, I'm going to need a like, I'm going to need a comment, I'm going to need a subscribe, I'm going to need you to say why you thought my opinions were trash and how I have no idea what's going on. I want you to comment on how beautiful Micah is, because
that's very
she's,
nice.
you know, are you Team Glinda or Team Elphaba?
Oh, yeah.
I'm curious to know.
I mean, I don't think this is like a Team Edward versus Jacob thing. It's not like that. It's not like are you Slytherin or...
Yet you are sitting on the pink side with the Glinda tiara.
I am.
And I'm wearing green on the green side, Elphaba hat, you know.
It's all just being patriotic. It's okay.
Okay, fair enough.
Should we give a little mention, because the fans might be interested to know about the fashion that's involved as well. Should we comment on this little thing behind us?
No. Look, if you know who that is, then shout out you. The artist, he's really talented. You can, if you want to know, I've got a few of his works, so I can put a link in the description if you want to know where the artwork's from, because, you know, it's really tastefully done.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right.
That's Dion and
Micah.
over and
Out.
bye.
Bye.